awakened from his slumber, out here rising like he's an undertaker. And judging from the way he's about to do the Rangers, he might as well be. Bro decides to ore farm on this tree, like we see the Fit gang. Y'all sorry as hell, like straight up garbage. Villains, no matter where they come from and or what the motive is, majority of people become villains for good reasons. And you do have some people who become villains for the most dumbass reason imaginable. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Obito. Either way, villains can make or break a series. And the villain we're talking about today is low-key a sleeper, Zen-Aku from Power Rangers Wild Force. He's one of those villains where the run was kinda short, but the run was legendary nonetheless. Regardless of that, bro made Wild Force into what it was. But the real question is, but does he have what it takes to make it into the mansion though? Grab some snacks, drinks, and whatever the hell else, cause right now, we about to find out. At this point, you should know how this goes by now. I have the evidence, the chapters are ready to roll, and I'm ready to get into my yab session. So without further ado, chapter 1. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to Chapter 1, The Awakened Slumber. Now we pan over to this coffin in the woods. Now I don't know who had the bright idea to leave a coffin there, but you do you, I guess. And Shayla gets the news about somebody trying to open. But before I move on, I have to do this at least one time.
Oh my god, my Shayla!
Get it? Cause her name is Princess Shayla.
Man, shut your lame ass up and get to the video.
Anyways, the Rangers find out about this coffin and they pull straight up in the most goofiest way possible, like, gang. I'm sorry, but you have to admit, this looks so stupid, but in the funniest way possible. One more thing. Look at Tatsuka and Jindrax. They're struggling to catch up with it. Now imagine getting lapped like this. Personally, I'd wrap it up and never run again. Yo, they stay going through it. Oh, man. But anywho, the full moon is out and this grossology reject is... Okay, I'm sorry, let me lock in. The full moon is out and this grossology reject is waiting for the moon to align with some stuff he gathered earlier. But the Rangers got there too late and it happens. Zen-Aku has been awakened from his slumber, out here rising like he's an undertaker. And judging from the way he's about to do the Rangers, he might as well be. Cause my boy took no time to waste and jumped out of the coffin and immediately started putting belt to ass on the Rangers. But before we get to that, you cannot tell me that this isn't a tough album cover. The EP about to go crazy, I'm telling you. Now back to this so-called fade. They all got put in the blender cause bro was slicing and dicing everybody. And guess who was the first person Zen-Aku decides to slime out? I'll give you a hint. Bro ain't white. That's right. He decides to slime out Max first. Nah, come on, man. It's Black History Month. Why is bro doing us like this? Our forefathers didn't die for this to happen. Come on, man. By the way, happy Black History Month to all my brothers and sisters out there. You know what I'm saying? Stay blessed, stay you, and most importantly, stay black. Oh, you thought that was bad? Well, watch this. Danny tries to 1v1 him and immediately gets choked out, grabbed, and chucked into a wall, leaving bro on the floor. Man's tried to spin back and it failed. But hey, I respect the commitment. And Taylor tries to fight bro in the air. And Zen-Aku, aka Never Duck a Fade, was like,
oh, say less.
and they start boxing like they in Dragon Ball. And Zen hits a devious combo, leaving Taylor on the ground slump. Now, if I'm in the background and I see this, I'm running the other way, because if you think I'm gonna stick around and get my fade ran next, you are absolutely bugging. At this point, Cole and Alyssa weren't safe either, because they both catch a wolf combo. After doing that, my boy had to flex the drip on him. From the gloves, the chest, the boots, the shoulder pads, and the mask. Hold up. I'ma need that. They're like, who are you? And Zen replied to them, one word, Himothy. And he checks Alyssa with a Falcon punch! Oh, and not just that, he stole an elephant Zord too. Nah, man's out here stealing Zords on his first day? Rev, do something, Rev. He cheating. Then we got Cole dragging himself to Zen to quote unquote stop him. Brother. Now, I don't know if the CTE is kicking in or not, or if you somehow didn't see your friends get solo squad wiped by one man. Now, what makes you think you'll make a difference? Like, be for real.
I've waited too damn long for my revenge, and today's the day I carry out my vengeance. Next time we meet, I'm sliming you out, plain and simple.
Damn.
Chapter 1's complete. Now let's review everything. We got solo squad wiping, 5 attempted murder charges, 5 assault charges, theft, verbal threats, and domestic violence. The fact that he did all of this on his first day is absurd. Stat sheet, do the thing. Chapter 2. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to Chapter 2, Rogue Wolf. So after putting belt to ass on the Rangers and stealing a Zord from one of them, so you wanna know what he does to pass the time? Bro decides to ore farm on this tree, like we see the Fit gang, out here posted like Black Suit Spider-Man from Spider-Man 3. I will admit, he is hitting the pose though. So a Ghostology reject decides to pull back up and say, you might wanna give me the elephant crystal, brother man.
Hard pass.
But you work for us though, do you not? And Big Bro Org might need that crystal up off you.
Let's get one thing straight. You freed me and I appreciate it. that doesn't mean I work for your team of Cobra looking ass.
Hey man,
As long as you back up the Rangers, you can do whatever you want. I Loki don't give a shit.
when Zen-Aku's taking a calm stroll through the forest, Thing 1 and Thing 2 tried, keyword, tried to jump Zen-Aku. If you know anything about these two, they ain't like that in the slightest, so they get humbled real quickly and left like nothing happened. While Alyssa's trying to find the Elephant Zord after it got boot ganked from her, you know, as she does, she finds him ore farming while playing the flute. And listen to this real quick.
Yo, yo, yo! Ah!
Nah, bro, this beat is absolutely tough. Anyways, after getting her transformation interrupted by Toxica, no lie, villains need to start doing that more often. All I'm saying is that villains would win more often if they stopped the hero from powering up. Same thing goes for anime too, but moving on. After she gets hurt, Zen-Aku pulls up. You would think she would pack her up right on sight, right? Wrong, because he decides to give her medical attention. See, bro might be a villain, but he does have a heart. After he patches her up, he was on his merry way. So what you're telling me is that bro humbled Thing 1 and Thing 2 and saved the damsel in distress. I don't know about y'all, but bro may or may not be Himothy. I'm just saying. So after ore farming with the flute again, he ups his ultimate and the Rangers immediately get to stepping. And even then, they still got caught in the blast. And the Rangers morph, do the roll call just to get straight to the fade. You would think they would learn the lesson from the first time they got solo squad wiped. You know, take some time to come up with a new strategy for Zen-Aku, but no. Because just like chapter 1, he proceeds to solo squad wipe them again. I mean, look at this. He parries red, parries white, parried yellow, and gave her a slap for extra disrespect. Parried black and slashed him up, and he didn't even bother to parry white, he just pimp slapped her. Oh, you thought the Blue Ranger was safe? Nah, he wasn't safe in this ass whooping either, cause he caught a slash straight to the chest. Now, I don't know who Cole was feeling like, cause he goes for the attack just to get parried and slashed up too. And they both decided to have a DBZ fight with the after images, and from the looks of it, Cole was getting absolutely dragged. Then Zen-Aku proceeds to say this to them.
Unlike those ancient warriors, y'all sorry as hell. Like straight up garbage.
Whoever gave you those powers?
Should be fired immediately.
So after getting switched down by the Lion Blaster and using his ult on the Rangers, Zen-Aku decides to call a Zord. And the Rangers were like, where'd you get those Zords, big dog? And Zen-Aku said,
That's none of your damn business.
and he uses the flute to summon them. He definitely took a page out of Tommy Oliver's book with this one. Yo, I'm not even gonna lie, Zen-Aku is one of the most pettiest villains I've ever seen in my entire life. While the Dark Wild Zords are tearing the Wild Zords a new one, Zen-Aku is tearing the Rangers a new one as well. At that point, the Dark Wild Zords already won the battle, cause the Wolf Zord is just spanking the Lion Zord. It was so bad that it kept biting it after it was down. Like, stop, he's already dead! Zen-Aku leaves after giving the Rangers another category 5 ass whooping. Now that marks the end of chapter 2. Stat sheet, if you may.
Chapter 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to bring up chapter 3, Lion vs. Wolf. Now this chapter may or may not be short, but we'll have to see. Now I don't know who the hell Cole's feeling like, but he decides to run the ones with Zen-Aku. Cole's over here talking about I'm the guardian of the Lion Zord. Zen-Aku's like,
Okay.
and proceeds to put belt to ass on bro. I mean, they were going at it for a while, but it still wasn't enough to put down the big dog that is Zen-Aku. So Cole had the bright idea to up the pole on bro, but instead of dodging it like a normal person, no. He decides to turn into a friggin' Beyblade. Who is Zen-Aku feeling like? Like, I know he's Himothy Jones, but there's limits to Himothy activity. So after dodging Cole's attacks in the most questionable way imaginable, he pops the ult, and you can imagine that Cole isn't taking it very well. After giving Cole another fade, at this point, bro's just asking for it for real. He chucks him into a pond, and the fade only got worse from here. So I'm gonna do you a favor and skip the rest of it. After defeating the monster of the week with the Megazord, you know, typical Power Ranger activities, Zen-Aku decides to pull out his own Zords and to make his own Megazord, better known as the Predazord. Now, how did it go for the Rangers? Well,
Damn.
yeah, they got whooped again. And he snatched another Zord. Yeah, typical theft. You know what I'm saying? Chapter 3 has been wrapped up, and I don't even have to say anything. Stat sheet.
Chapter 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the final chapter of the video. Chapter 4, Zen-Aku's true form. So after going on a repeated cycle of putting belt to ass on the Rangers, or farming with a dash of self-reflection, with some kidnapping on the side, nah, for real, man should have snatched up my Shayla. I'm gonna need to add kidnapping to the rest of the charges. After all that, we learned the origin of Zen-Aku. It turns out he was a warrior named Merrick. So long story short, the ancient warriors were getting their fade ran so bad to the point where Merrick had to look for the cursed wolf mask and wear it. See, the good news is that they won the battle, but the bad news was that the mask was stuck on his face, taking over Merrick to the point where he became Zen-Aku. So they had to seal Bro after getting their cheeks absolutely spanked. Now, backstory aside, eventually Zen-Aku finally split from Merrick, giving us the Lunar Wolf Ranger, who is actually one of the best 6 Rangers of all time. And if you disagree, go argue with your mama, cause you cannot tell me that he's not valid. After multiple episodes, Zen-Aku pulls up on Merrick and Bro morphs ready for the scrap. And you wanna know something disrespectful? This man really threw his sword up just to run the one. Vans really said, I don't need a weapon to beat your ass. And they start trading blows, you know what I'm saying? A little calm fight, some tame, and they start pulling the weapons out. We see Zen-Aku just applying pressure to Merrick, acting like a little sweat. Bro had him on the tree, hits him with a knee, and chucked him so hard that it led to a stage transition. And this is where Merrick started to get whooped a little bit. Zen hits Bro with a nasty combo, and just to flex, he grabbed Merrick and proceeds to use the Goku throw. Brother acting like he's a Saiyan or something. As soon as he was about to get sent to the lobby, Alyssa pulls up for the last second clutch, cause if it wasn't for her, Bro would have been 6 feet under, or he would have been with Zen-Aku again. I don't know. Later on, Merrick decides to spin back on his motorcycle and it ended in a draw. This beef is so generational that Zen-Aku pulled up to the forest in the middle of the night just to fight Merrick again. Now imagine hating somebody that much to the point where you just pull up on them in the middle of the night asking for the fade. Matter of fact, he didn't even ask. He just threw the first attack. This is just next level hating at this point. They're out here trading blows once again. Yo, imagine hiking in the forest at this time of night or just taking a walk during a camping trip and you see this. Me personally, I'm walking the opposite direction. Or I may or may not record it. Nah, the homies won't believe this shit. What was I talking about? Alright, Merrick hits Zen's sword out of his hand and they start boxing. Now yes, Merrick's getting spanked, but then again, it's Zen-Aku, so what do you expect? Yo, they were boxing until, bro, this beef is so ridiculous that they were boxing until the next day. You know what? I've seen enough. The hate between these two are strong as hell. Chapter 4 is officially concluded, but Zen-Aku didn't really lose because I'm pretty sure he's still following Merrick to this very day, wanting to redeem himself. Anywho, stat sheet, you know the drill. I don't even have to say anything. Zen-Aku has officially made his way into the mansion, everybody. Come on now. Man's really 1v5 the Rangers, stole their Zords, and everything else in between. Now that wraps up this episode of Mansion of Black Forces, and the next episode will be very special. That's all I'm gonna say. Until then, I'm gonna head out.